What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the He Vision podcast. Tonight I got myself, Hector, Javi, and Aradu. We're gonna be reviewing what was it called? Everything, everywhere, all at once. But before we get to that, I want to let y'all know that you guys can find us on all socials: Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, you name it, we're there. And make sure you follow our socials at He Vision Podcast. But yeah, this movie was written and directed by Javi says the Daniels. That's how they refer themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dan Kwan and Daniel Scheinert, I think. If I mispronounced that, my bad. Release date April 8th, 2022. We just saw it. We saw it Erado and I saw it 2 weeks late. Have you saw it when it came out?
The weekend it came out.
And I forgot, cinematography by Larkin Seipel, which I like the cinematography in this film. I thought it was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. But yeah, where the fuck do we begin with this movie, man? This movie was a lot, man. I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot. I enjoyed it. Really, I really enjoyed like the beginning. 'Cause the beginning of the movie, I felt like it was. You felt that tension, like you felt like that mom's tension, like everything is going on, like she's struggling with taxes, lives with his with her father and her husband and her daughter, and above this laundromat that they own, and we just see them struggling with customers and them having to deal with their taxes and whatnot. And so that first scene is, I felt that tension. Like I was getting annoyed. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie to you. I was watching the movie and I was like, bro, shut the fuck up. I wanted to stop the movie.
Yeah.
No, but you could feel that tension, and I feel like they captured that very well. Mm. You know what I mean? And obviously we see that her relationship with her daughter is rocky from the start. She's like I guess she's gay or whatnot. She has a girlfriend or whatnot, and her mom, is not. I don't think her mom is like.
She's not like super against it, but she's
it's
not
just
like
her dad
supportive.
Because of her dad, right? The grandpa, because he's like very traditional and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so we see that type of issues. They finally get to this place with their taxes and whatnot.
You also have to put in the fact that this main lady and her husband are complete opposites.
You didn't sleep through this movie finally.
No,
Surprising,
finally, right? But anyways, would you say that? See that again, Arado?
That the main lady that's in it and her husband are complete polar opposites. Where she is always like, oh, I gotta get things done, like she's like in a rush and like she's like always like kind of moody and stuff. Where her husband is like, he's very mellow. He's like, yo, everything's gonna be fine. Yeah, he's like everything's gonna be fine. We'll figure it out. We're going through it. He's very patient, and she just isn't.
Yeah, so they finally get to this place to the tax people, and goddamn, man, she was a bitch at first. Not gonna lie.
Who?
That lady, the tax girl.
Jamie Lee Curtis's character.
Yeah. Whoever you just said.
The chick from Halloween.
Yeah. So, yeah, I thought that was... Then all of a sudden, like... No, actually, before they get there, wasn't it, like, on their elevator to there? That's when they finally introduced this. Oh, no. Wait, I forgot to mention. Let me backtrack real quick. We see with the mother and daughter like arguing in the security cameras. We see the husband doing flips and shit. At that part, I was like, "Yo, what the like?" We just see him like transform like Moon Knight, and he starts doing these crazy flips, parkour shit. I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck is going on?" So that's like a little hint of like what you can expect. But honestly, this movie was unexpected. Like the only thing I did expect was the daughter, which we'll get that in a bit. But for the most part, like a lot of shit was going on. You know what I mean? Like a lot of funny shit, a lot of shit I wasn't expecting. Like, yo, what the fuck? But anyways, back to the elevator when they get to the tax area, whatever. That's our first look of this her husband. That's from a different universe. Yeah, right. From what's that?
The Alphaverse, he called
the
it.
Alphaverse, right? Which they said it was the
first universe.
To make contact with the other
universes.
Yeah.
So we see that, and then we finally get into a grasp of how the universe things work. You know, that she had to put like her shoes in a specific way, do these specific rules and whatnot, which I thought was pretty cool. Like she has these like Bluetooth or whatever the fuck, right? Like it looked like Bluetooth to me.
AirPod
like, each
Pros
year.
too.
Yeah.
They're
Something
old,
like that.
They're like old school, Bluetooth microphones that people would hook up to their phones.
Yeah, something like that.
Businessman type shit.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Not that they were AirPods.
Yeah, so there it was. And so obviously the husband there, he's trying to explain how to how it works and whatnot, which I was still confused. So in order to like jump through universes, you're supposed to do specific tasks. That's what you said, right?
So they wouldn't necessarily jump to universes. They would connect with themselves in another universe in order to regain that skill that they have in that certain universe. Because in the different universes of this one person, of whoever, they branch out of different lives. That whole like thing like where if you don't do something, then you did it in another universe type of thing.
Because he explained it. Remember, the husband explains it to her that every decision you make is a different branch in the multiverse, and it leads you to become a different person.
Yeah.
So we saw that, like, obviously this version of the woman, right? Of I forgot her name, but Evelyn. This version of this version of Evelyn was the version that stayed with the husband when they fell in love as young adults or teenagers. And we saw that when she decided not to be with him, that she almost gets mugged and killed, and then the muggers get beat up by a female sensei that trains her how to be a kung fu master.
Yeah.
And then she becomes like Jackie Chan, where she's someone that knows martial arts, but then becomes a movie
She gets
star.
famous.
So like we see that these certain changes all branch out, and so it becomes a different version of her. So like Aradu was saying, she had to perform tasks to connect herself with another version of herself from the multiverse to regain that specific skill. Like that's why the dude was giving himself paper cuts, because he was trying to connect himself with another version of him that knew gymnastics.
But how does that work? Is it just like a random like, oh, if you want to connect to this person, you have to do this?
Yeah, it's completely random. So what would happen is, in order for them to connect, it was different every time. But in order for them to connect to a certain part of another universe that they're a part of, they had to do some weird tasks. Which Javi mentioned that one time the husband had to get 5 paper cuts within
within
each of his fingers, like his finger webs.
Like in the
The webbing.
fuck
He
that.
also
Shit hurt.
he had to like chew on something and then spit it out. I don't know, what were some other ones?
Yeah, no, okay, I get it.
Some of them were like the wildest shit.
The woman had to profess her love to know the martial arts one.
And mean it.
Yeah, and she had to mean it. And then, of course, we...
towards the end of the movie, or like the middle of the movie.
We saw...
Just
we saw some dudes use some trophies.
Yeah.
Oh, we could get to that if you want, and we'll just come back to where we were. But we could mention that real quick.
Because it's just funny to mention.
Yeah, we can mention that real quick. Hey, Roddy, you want to mention, or who wants to?
Yeah, they got like I said, like some of these conditions were like super wild, and and there was one point in the movie where the guy had to stick something up his ass, like anything.
Yeah, like some trophy. That trophy that the tax lady showed.
Yeah,
from the beginning of the in the movie,
which already looks like what it is.
Yeah, it looks like a
basically looks like a butt plug essentially.
Yeah, that's what it looks.
Yeah.
So we see these two scenes of this dude butt naked, launches himself high as hell, right, and he like does the splits and lands on it. And we're like, yo, what the fuck's going on? But yeah, that shit was funny as fuck.
Yeah.
But so going back to where we were, we get this cool fight scene from the husband.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that fight scene was raw as fuck. That shit was better than Morbius, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Here's something that I liked about the movie that I forgot that this movie did.
Oh yeah, well before, I'm sorry, hold that thought real quick. This review's gonna be kind of wonky. I'm already feeling it just because there's so much going on in this movie and so much like so many messages and like so many unique scenes and whatnot that I really liked. That I know it's gonna be wonky with things. I'm not gonna remember something I'm gonna forget because I just seen this one half. This is your second time watching it, so you have more of understanding. Because I still have some questions from it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I honestly have to rewatch this a couple times to really grasp it and form like what I really feel about this movie. You know what I mean? Because when you first watch it the first time, you're like, yo, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, I just wanted to mention that with me and Navarro, our first time watching it. Go on, Huff.
Excuse me. No, I was just mentioning that I liked how in that fight scene, you notice. Well, you would notice this throughout the whole movie, but the aspect ratio keeps changing.
Yeah, I saw that.
Mm-hmm. So before he,
honestly, I thought that was the fucking Dolby screen.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck's going on here? Why is it full screen of the Dolby screen and then like just random like black
how,
bars
you notice when the dude started chewing on the
gum?
No, he was chewing on lip balm or
the
chapstick or some shit, right?
Yeah.
And and then he had to swallow it. Then he presses the button, and then you just see the aspect ratio just, and it looks like a movie now, like widescreen now.
Yeah.
And that's how that whole scene plays out with the whole action scene.
Yeah,
and
I thought
stuff.
that was raw.
That was cool as fuck. I like that throughout the whole movie it happens. Like the aspect ratio changes on what, like it was like a square, like the Snyder cut, like the Snyder cut shit from the Justice League.
I completely forgot that I saw that fucking shit in Square.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it turned into a square. I think for the flashback scenes when you see her as a kid and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was horizontal and shit when it was like an action scene or something. It was full screen when it was like normal shit, like normal people. Like I like how the aspect ratio was like changing throughout the movie. That shit was cool.
And the fight scenes were dope as fuck, bro.
Yeah.
The fight scenes were
the action here was cool.
Yeah, bro, sick as fuck.
But they were also like comical because like sometimes when they'd get hit, they just like
they sell that shit.
Launch.
They sell that shit like WWE, bro.
Yeah, for real.
Exactly.
And I remember when that bitch came in, bro. Jenny Slate's character throwing around a fucking dog on a leash.
Oh my god.
Oh, that part was funny as
bro, fuck. This bitch had to, when Evelyn, she had to channel the multiverse version of herself that was a cook. So she grabbed the two things and she cut the leash and the dog just went boom and just hit the wall, bro. I died laughing, dude. That shit funny as hell.
The part where she had the dog, right? She's like, sorry, whatever, like the dog name, and she kicks it.
She starts swinging it.
She kicks it, then she starts swinging it. Like, dude, that shit was funny as fuck. Like the comedy in this movie, like hit, bro.
Yeah.
Like every single thing that was meant to be funny and like comedic purposes, whatever, it definitely hit. There was never a part where I was like, that's kind of corny. Like that wasn't funny. Like I laughed and I was like, yo, this is a fun movie. It's definitely a fun movie. Not only is it a fun movie, but it's very what's it called? Like it makes you really think, and it takes
you to like a whole roller coaster of just emotions.
Yeah, bro. Definitely, like it was very fun. Makes you really think, even outside your world. You know, later in the movie it says nothing matters, and like we're just like that whole rock scene at the end. But yeah, bro, I thought that was really cool. So the biggest twist, I guess, right? The whole issue, the whole issue what's going on, why they chose her, right? Is they chose her basically to save the multiverse, right?
From a multiverse god,
which turns out to be her daughter from the Alphaverse, right? And I knew. Like once they said, "Oh, she's here," when she's like walking up her boots or whatever, like it just shows her boots and whatnot. Like I immediately knew that. I think that's the only thing I expected. Like I immediately knew, oh yeah, that's her daughter. Like I immediately knew that. But other than that, everything else wasn't really predictable. There was parts of the movies where I thought it was over. I was like, oh shit, this is it. Like okay, like or what the fuck. And so yeah, so let's just explain the issue, right? So. The Alphaverse, we already acknowledged that, and the husband is from whatever, and that God from the God of multiverse or whatever, was from the Alphaverse from Evelyn, the Evelyn Alphaverse pushing her daughter to do what exactly? Do you remember? Like just. Remember they had her strapped to this like brain,
they were pushing her to her limits, is what.
Like
they
with
said.
What? Like what was?
I forget, bro. I forget.
Like
honestly.
with the whole universe jumping.
I think they said that that they had a bunch of child like test subjects that were introducing them to see to the multiverse. They were like seeing who of them would survive and a bunch of them would die. And like only a few people would survive it, but she wanted to push her daughter further to the limits and stuff like that. And
so I guess the issue was her daughter is jumping to these universes, killing her mother, right?
That's in all the different universes.
In all the different universes, and her goal is kill all of them, all of her.
Well, no.
What was her goal? That's the thing. Like, I'm trying to like, what was the overall like goal of hers again?
She wanted to find someone out there.
Evelyn, a version of Evelyn.
No,
Oh,
someone
okay.
in general
Oh,
in the
okay.
multiverse who could see what she saw.
Which was
To like see the multiverse as everything
for what it is.
and as everything, and to realize that nothing matters. Because she even says like, this movie touches on nihilism. If you think about it a lot, because it touches on like how nothing in the world matters, not even in the grand spake the
Especially,
multiverse.
and that's the emotions that that's what like kind of the roller coaster emotions that he gives. You know, this is when I'm having fun and shit. And then you're like, it gives you it gives you like, if you really think about it, an existential crisis, right? Where you're like, damn, like I am nothing and shit. Especially with that rock scene, that they did. But okay, so that was her goal.
She wanted to find
Right, that was her
someone who
goal.
would see the world as she did,
Right.
and she knew that this version of Evelyn, the Evelyn that the guy described, right, that he said you were bad at everything. This is the version
And that's
of you
why they
that
chose
chose
her.
every single bad decision, and you're living your worst
Bro,
life.
imagine like infinite like or billions or millions of multiverses, right? And you being the worst one out of all those millions. God damn. I looked at Javi when they said that. I was like, damn, bro.
Yes, I know. Imagine someone just telling you like, bro,
Bro,
you're
you
living
suck.
your worst life.
And it brings us to the point where like when she gets back to what you mentioned when she gets the glimpse of you of like her being famous and not going with her husband. And when she was like, you should have seen my life without you, whatever. I was like happy. I was rich. It was beautiful.
Oh
That part,
my
I looked at
God.
you. I was like, damn, that
She
sucks.
a bitch.
She out here telling her husband like, my life was amazing if I didn't go with you.
Because
Like,
at the time, her husband like didn't understand what was happening because when he
No,
would
yeah,
jump,
yeah, yeah.
because when the alpha would jump in and out of him, the original doesn't remember anything.
Oh yeah, he has no memory. The
Right,
people
right.
when they have no memory. I think Evelyn's the only one with the memories.
Yeah.
That she remembers what she did and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, they don't have memory. The other people don't have memory of what happens when they inhabit their other universe selves and stuff like that.
But I thought that was sad and shit. But okay, so if that was the daughter's goal, right? Then what was so dangerous about that?
What do you mean?
Because like in the alpha, don't you remember the alpha? They were saying like we have to stop her or whatever, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Before, so like, why do they need to stop her if she's just going around the universe?
Well, because that's all they knew. All they knew was that she was making something that it could potentially destroy. the whole
right.
entire
They didn't
multiverse.
know her goals.
Exactly.
They thought like they were gonna do like she was gonna just fuck up the
Yeah.
timelines and.
And well, she kept going through all the universes, killing different versions of Evelyn. Because he even said, like, I've seen you die 1,000 times in 1,000 worlds, and like each one of them was worse than the last. And she's just going around killing us.
Okay,
So that's
I
why
get
we
it.
got to stop her. Blah blah blah. But they don't know that she's just trying to find someone who saw the universe, who saw the multiverse, the way that she did. Again, focusing on the subject of nihilism, or she's like, well, it just nothing matters. We don't matter. Nothing, even in the grand scheme of a fucking multiverse. Nothing matters because you realize how small you are, and that's why she created the bagel, which
Which
guess
I don't understand. Can
it was
we
like
elaborate on that?
It was like a dark hole.
Yeah.
It was essentially a dark hole,
Oh, okay. So
like a black
okay.
hole. A black hole.
A black hole. So she created the bagel for. You were saying?
No, like it was just like a black hole that would just, like,
What would it?
it would just suck in everything, and it would just.
But she said she was
destroy.
like gonna use it inevitably to just end herself.
Oh, to kill herself.
Yeah. Because
Oh.
she didn't have hope in like finding anybody to know what she's knows.
Oh, okay.
Which
she
is
Okay.
important to the last part of the
Do
movie.
you, do you
Okay.
think it's interesting how? I mean, I only think about this now, but
Okay.
it's interesting that she happens to find the one that sees the universe as she does, in the version that's the worst.
Yeah, that's the great. That was what made it. That's what made it interesting. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that's definitely how they intentionally wrote it like that.
And especially like it's being her mother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
So I thought
Because and even the husband mentioned like,
It's a train.
oh,
Oh yeah, this is my train. Bro.
what's it called? But
It's my train.
your train.
Yeah.
You own it.
Mm-hmm.
Your name on the side.
I guess I'm a Mountain
Like
Dew
your
shit.
Vector.
I got Mountain Dew shipments coming on.
You stupid.
I got Tony Stark's Industries.
coming
Yeah, some armor shit going on.
What's it called? Oh yeah, so the husband even mentions like you're so special because you're just bad at everything. Like
Which is funny.
That was Alfred just saying it.
Yeah. That he was saying that to her.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what makes it even more interesting. He's like, that's why you're so special. Like that's why you have the potential to beat whatever they were calling her, something Tubaki or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's like that's why you have the power to defeat her because you're special. Like, you know what I mean? So it's interesting. It's like when you bringing that up, it makes sense because that's what they were saying. They were pointing out the fact that she not only this version, this basic as mom version of Evelyn, had the potential to like change things with her and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's the point of the story. That's what it was trying to show you. Mm-hmm. It didn't take, Marvel heroes to defeat a multiverse god. It took, that scene that we got at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which I guess I don't know if you want to get to that later because it's at the end.
Yeah, we'll get to it later.
Yeah, we'll get to. Yeah, I mean, are we missing? I'm trying to think. Are we missing anything important that's happened?
This is just a complete side note, but it's also kind of interesting how all this happens in one day.
Yeah.
Oh, it did, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, man.
Which feels like it feels so long because throughout the entire movie, as the movie progresses, she's always jumping, and then but then and we also come to learn that jumping can be very dangerous if you're not prepared for it. Mm-hmm. You could overwork your brain, kill yourself. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Let's talk about a couple of the universes I thought were funny, man. Like the whole, the universe where they have the hot dog hands. And it shows 10 million BC or whatever the fuck back when primates.
That was funny as fuck.
Where the apes with the hot dog hands beat the apes with the normal hands. Yeah. So that's why evolution.
That was funny.
That was funny. The one where with the whole Ratatouille, with the raccoon.
With the raccoon.
Oh, yeah.
Raccoon.
Raccoon, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's literally a raccoon controlling this motherfucker. Yeah, I was dying laughing.
Because before we see that, the mom is in the normal universe is explaining to her husband and whatnot, oh, you guys are being controlled just like that one movie. And she's explaining the movie Ratatouille, and then her daughter's like, do you mean Ratatouille? And she's like, no, what the fuck? No, it's Raccoon or whatever.
Yeah. With a raccoon.
Yeah, so me and Avi like, yo, what the fuck? What is she watching? Some bootleg ass motherfucker? Some bootleg ass movie? And then later we find out in one of her universes she's a professional chef, whatever.
Yeah.
And we see this dude going crazy with his utensils, with his food. And it turns out that it was true. He had a fucking raccoon on his head, controlling him like Ratatouille. And I thought that was funny as fuck.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
So that was another one. Another universe. Her as the chef. Then there was her with the sign spinner. And she used that. And she used that because
that scene was raw as fuck.
Yeah, because she had to inhabit herself as a person that would spin signs and stuff outside on the street. And so she in that one fight scene where she took the dude's riot shield, so she was using all the sign skills and stuff to fight him and shit.
That was pretty.
That scene was fucking cool.
I feel like it was almost a stretch that really worked, which was before that happened. They threw tear gas into a room that her husband and her daughter were in, and she switches to another dimension where she it basically goes that she loses her eyesight because she landed face first on some sticks
as a little girl. It shows her as a little girl running around and she falls and she lands on chopsticks.
Yeah,
there were chopsticks, right?
Yeah, and they basically impale her eyes,
and she was blind on some Daredevil shit.
That later turned her into a singer, which meant that her lung capacity was above average, so she used that in order to fight the tear gas.
Yeah.
So she went and held her breath, and she just walked out all cool like she was Darth Vader.
With her eyes closed and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. Those universes going on. The fighting was dope. Then I think we can go. Are we missing anything else that happened in the report?
I mean, they go a little bit more in depth with her becoming a martial artist because she later meets her what would have been her husband later on because he did his own thing,
and he was successful too, right?
Yeah. He even says I think I just
got
lucky.
and they're watching a movie in which that movie that they're watching is another universe.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I thought that was pretty cool and kind of trippy. Oh, and you know what? Let's talk about this segment real quick.
Sure.
So we're watching this this there's a part of the movie which I can't necessarily explain, man. Like, I'm sorry, my mind is just like I can't necessarily explain. It's when they're by like the escalators or not the escalator, by like stairs. Remember that she's fuck. I can't. It's the part where like it just ends in black screen where like she ends up dying.
Oh,
and it says
yeah.
the
She
end.
basically like Evelyn basically like overworked herself, and she ends up like just like throwing up because her like body's like all exhausted, and her mind's been overworked, and like
that's one of the universes, right? Or is that the main one?
No, that was the main one.
Okay, yeah, the main one. So like then she dies, and the daughters are like, oh, it's a shame, and she walks off, and then like it just fades and like it cuts to black, and it's just the end, and then it starts playing credits like a normal ending movie, and that part, bro, got me. I was like,
no, it got me too. I checked the time. I was like, it's over already.
I'm like this movie is over. Like this is how it ends.
It also kind of gets you because the movie is in 3 different sections, which is part 1, part 2, and part 3. And at the beginning, it's set at the beginning, like when it gets into like a first thing, it says part 1. So when it ends, you're like, wait. So that means there's gonna be a part 2 or something?
Yeah, like, I thought so too. I'm like, wow,
like
so
a sequel.
Yeah, that's what I thought of. I'm like, okay,
but
so
it's basically just like a gotcha ass, and it's just like another universe.
It's basically a movie.
And then she puts and then she's put into the universe where she becomes a successful movie star,
right? Then
for a short period of time.
Yeah, and that part where she's talking with the with her, I guess, with her husband that wasn't her husband in that universe, just talking about how things was. And there's a scene that I liked where the husband, I'm actually forgetting. So what was was it that the Evelyn wanted to be with him at that moment and then he didn't want to, or was it the other way around?
No, so before that he was just kind of like, he had a great monologue. It was on subtitles, so like I was reading it, so I can't remember what he said, but he was saying something like,
I gotta watch anime.
Whatever. And so I was like, and so he was just saying like, I want
to
get to that part that I like that he said, but I want to explain first like
that. So
yeah, Errata, do you know exactly?
So what ends up happening is when she's transferred into that universe after her original dies. Yeah. She like gets up in her like a panic. She's like our kids like they're in trouble, and she ends up leaving the theater. Mm-hmm. He chases her out and then into an alleyway, and they both sit down and just have this like long monologue about basically telling his backstory of that universe, being like, oh yeah, like I went through this, and like it's like, like it's kind of crazy how like we didn't end up with each other, and
you're right,
and all that. And then she's like, but like we could have been together. He's like, yeah, we could have been, but. Yeah, and it's basically just that. It's just them going back and forth.
But the reason why I'm asking is because later he says in a scene where the successful version of him, he said, you know what, in another life, whatever, I would have preferred to be with you, and even if we had like a laundromat or like something like that.
No, he straight up says like
in another lifetime,
I would have liked to just do laundry and taxes with you.
Yeah, that's what he says.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's obviously from the original universe that we're shown.
Because we see what that life would have been.
Yeah.
And it would have been hectic, and it would have been stressful, and the marriage got rocky. But to him,
he doesn't care. Like he loves her.
He loves her and wanted to be with her.
Yeah. When he said that, I was like, dang, bro.
And here's the thing.
Man. That's raw.
And here's the thing. That monologue that he gives when he's talking to her at the same time, where it's switching back to the main universe, where the dad on the wheelchair has all these people, and they're all about to kill Evelyn, and the dad's like, no, like I don't know what the fuck's going on. Today's been a crazy day, but somehow I feel like it's my fault. And let's not fight. Let's not kill each other. Let's just be kind, because in every universe that we've seen him in, he's been this kind guy. He's always been this kind guy and stuff like that. And so that's important. Like, that was one of those things that you had to catch, because it was important to later in the movie with him saying like let's just all be kind. It's important because there's 2 scenes that happen later that ties back to what he said. Do
you want to get into that?
Sure. So one of them, I guess it's 3 moments.
I was gonna say, I think we covered everything that was important up until this point.
Yeah, so I guess I should say it's 3 moments, right? So one of them we said is that he said like, "Hey, our lives were great. Like we were successful. You became a movie star. I'm a rich man, but you know what? In another lifetime, I would have liked to do laundry and taxes with you." And so that's like showing his kindness, showing like that he would have liked to have done that, right? Later in the movie, we also see her, and we know that earlier in the movie, we know that the dad liked to put googly eyes on all the laundromat shit, right? all the dry cleaner stuff. So everyone shoots at Evelyn, and all the bullets like stay on her, but they don't shoot her, they don't impale her, and she takes one of the bullets, and it turns into a googly eye, and she puts it on her forehead, kind of like
a third eye,
kind of like they look like a third eye, and the husband goes like, "Evelyn, what are you doing?" And she looks at him, and I love this quote. It's great. And she's like, "I'm learning to fight like you." And I was like, fuck. She's learned how to fight with kindness.
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah, Javi leaned over to me and he said, "With kindness." I'm like, "Yeah, bitch, I know. Let me fucking."
Did he actually?
Yeah.
That's funny as fuck. And then that's when she started going crazy, but like helping these guys.
But she was, instead of like killing them or fighting them, she was giving them like joy. Like one dude had a puppy, this other dude wanted to be dominated.
Oh yeah, that shit was funny.
That shit was crazy as hell. And then the other one was like, he fixed his
back problems, or neck problems.
Yeah, right.
It's funny because like, she did it in a way where like how most like people like portray them breaking their neck as in like trying to kill them, but she did it in order to fix his spine alignment.
Yeah, and he's like falling. He's like, "Thank alignment. You."
Yeah,
he's all falling. He's like, "Thank you."
Yeah. So she was learning how to like fight with kindness and stuff, right?
And she's basically like fighting her way to her daughter,
who's trying to kill herself,
basically.
Who's trying to throw herself into the black hole
because she's like already given up, and she's like, "There's no point to any of this."
Yeah. And then later we see that there was that other universe of like the universe that showed her going back home after doing the taxes with the lady. Like she never ended up punching the lady in the face. Like she just left and went back home, and later that day was the party, and she introduces the girlfriend of her daughter to her dad.
Uh-huh.
And she was talking about like, "Oh, when I had a daughter, like I had hoped that she wouldn't end up like her mother, like me. She wouldn't be messy, that she wouldn't be, stressed, blah, blah, blah." And she's like, and it turns out that I failed because she became everything like me, but that's okay because, and then she looks over at the husband. This ties back to what he said about why can't we all be kind, right? Because she looks at the husband and she goes, "But that's okay because the universe gave her someone kind and patient to be there for her, to be her rock."
I like that.
And that's when she's like, "This is Becky. This is her girlfriend."
To her father.
Right.
Like the grandpa, yeah.
And that's all ties together to, like, that's why that scene of him being like, being in front of his wife, like, "Why can't we all just be kind?" Like, that's important because these following scenes, you had to catch that, what she was doing and stuff like that. That's what made me get choked up, bro. Like, low key, it's just, getting all, like, choked up over the scenes and stuff like that. And so eventually she
choked up. You didn't cry, right?
No, I was just like, fuck, okay. Like that's actually pretty touching. And and the scene, and then later that scene, the daughter walks out, all mad,
like
right,
upset and all that,
and she's like, and she even threatens to leave, and the mom's like, "Okay, like leave," right? But then she was like, "No," and then she stops her. She opens the car door, and she's like, "How about you don't leave?" And she's like, but like,
and can you hold that thought real quick? And that is relevant because we forgot to mention that she didn't want her daughter, right, to be like her because her dad, Evelyn's dad, let her go. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because once Evelyn wanted to, she basically ran away with her husband.
Mm-hmm. And in the main current universe.
In the main current universe, and her dad was like, "You're not my daughter," or whatever, and just disowned her and like just let her go. And she always said like, why, to her father, like, "Why the fuck did you let me go?
And why did you and how did you do it so easily?"
Right. So that ties up and is relevant to this situation where like she doesn't want to do that to her own daughter.
She want to make the same mistake.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So go. Yeah.
And she basically stops her and she's like, I forget what she said. Like I can't quote it. but she said something like, "What if I don't change? Like,
Right.
what if it's just this? Or what if like everything's still like shitty, and what if it just becomes this for the rest of for the rest of the like of our lives and blah blah blah." And that's when the mom's like, then I'll cherish every single second that I with about it, like with you together, and I will never leave your side. And they embrace that hug.
I thought leading up to that hug, I thought was really cool because like, in a way, she was doing what her father was at the beginning. Like, fine, like she was gonna let her go, and we see all these different universes of like, the one where like she's about to enter that black hole, and then the mom's just like standing there or whatever, and like the one with the rocks, where like she falls off the cliff and the mom's standing there, and like was it other scenes? I forgot other scenes, but those are the ones I can remember.
The hot dog fingers. She let the wife go.
Oh yeah, she let the wife go.
She packed her bag. She's like, I don't know what I ever did wrong. But she left. But then she comes back.
And then the raccoon one.
Yeah, he's helping the dude free the raccoon. So
yeah.
So the Evelyn starts riding the dude on his shoulder.
Yeah, starts riding the dude.
His hair.
and so leading up to the hug, like when she changes her mind, I was like, no, I'm not gonna let you go. I'm gonna cherish you, whatever. It quickly goes back to those scenes. To where
it showed movie star.
It goes back to the other multiverses.
It showed movie star Evelyn pursuing the guy before he left her at the alley. It showed Evelyn picking up the chef dude on her shoulders and throwing him to fast yeah.
The one with the rock, her falling off the cliff, chasing her.
And the rock had googly eyes on him.
Yeah.
And the rock had googly eyes. Yeah. And then the other universe where she had the hot dog hands with the wife.
They reconciled.
They finally together. They finally stay together. They work things out. So I thought, so that all led up to the hug, and I thought that was pretty cool. Scene. I was like, yo, that's pretty cool.
And it's cool because the daughter got consumed by the black hole.
Oh yeah,
completely. But then you see her
mother
reach out, and the mom grabs her and pulls her in, and that's how like she saves her.
Right.
And that's how like that apparently that like banishes the multiverse god person that's her, right? Like that she didn't want to like, consume them, like that she didn't want to like kill herself anymore. Yeah. She didn't want to go into this black hole. And that was also like touching, dude. It's like beautiful. You're like, Jesus. And to come out of a multiverse movie, it's just kind of like funny, right? It's funny because before we saw this movie, I told it Radu, like, oh, it's a multiverse movie. And he asked, like, is this connected to anything? Is this Marvel or DC? And I'm like, no, dude, it's actually its own movie. It's like, it's from A24, bro. Like, it's just its own thing. No canon to no other movies, nothing like that. But yeah, man, when I saw this movie the first time and I was telling people about it, I was like, what's like the best way to like describe this movie? And I always told people what this movie is to its core at the center. It is a family drama. Yeah. It's a drama movie about a family. It's about a husband and a wife and their kid, and it focuses on them. And it's a family drama.
Oh, right.
It also just so happens to have sci-fi multiverse shit going on at the same time.
Badass fight scenes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at its core, it's a family drama, is what I've always described.
Yeah.
it.
Also, I just want to add real quick that we kind of forgot to mention in the beginning of the movie, the husband's trying to file for divorce because he doesn't have it anymore.
That's right.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. Because that whole relationship was failing.
Yeah, I got confused in the beginning. I thought it was the Evelyn trying to file for divorce.
No,
that's what I thought. I know, but that's what I thought at first. I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, we forgot to mention that. Then eventually, what they didn't right? They didn't get the divorce. No, yeah, everything was resolved.
But like during the time where she was like, where she came back and giving up on everything, she did sign the divorce papers, and she was like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember that. But yeah, that's how.
And the movie ends with them all together now. The multiverse is not fractured, nothing crazy. Like everything got resolved.
Right.
Evelyn pretty much brings the multiverse god chick that's possessing her daughter, brings her to her senses. She's not in the nihilism state. Doesn't want to kill herself. She saves her, and now everything is good, back to normal. And then when we catch up, literally the next day, the following day, and they're all together, and they're all a family. They're all getting together, getting along as a family should. You see her relationship with the daughter is better now. the mom talks to the girlfriend like, you know, like,
Yeah.
hey, you know, blah blah blah.
Also,
They're doing well with their taxes.
The dad's like, I'll be right back. I got to use the bathroom. She's like, okay, but then she pulls him in and they go for a kiss, kind of like, oh, like they're in love again, like things are better. So we see that things are now better, and that's how the movie is portraying at the end, that things are better now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh fuck, man. I was gonna say something. I was holding it. I was like, fuck. I want to say something else, but I can't. I can't fucking think of it. I think that's. Oh right. Sorry. The that rock scene. I thought like in that type of scene, I thought the movie was gonna end there, low key, for some reason. I thought I was like, oh shit, everything's calm. Like what the fuck? They're literally just rocks, and like it's literally just a scene of them just being rocks. And then you see like the subtitles and whatnot. And then that's where it gets to the existential crisis. We're just rocks. We're literally, we don't matter. One now we're so small, you know. And it's just stuff like that. And me thinking like damn, bro, like this movie like making me feel all types of emotions.
No, yeah, it was
man.
crazy
You a
because
bitch.
like they just kind of like just to keep explaining the daughter in rock form is essentially like we're just living day by day to find new bigger things only to feel like smaller pieces of shit.
Yeah, shit like I thought that whole scene was fucking cool, bro. I was like,
That was a
damn,
really good scene.
you know, this whole movie is many messages and many emotions that you feel. Fucking
Although
Radu almost cried.
Yeah, I got choked up.
Yeah,
Although,
so apparently
I
some
would
girl
say-
cried at
Yeah,
our theater.
dude.
Oh my god.
Dead ass, literally just that scene that I talked about where the mom and the daughter are reconciling, right? And they embrace a hug. Literally, the screen goes black before it shows us the scene that's the next day.
Yeah, screen goes black, no audio, it's quiet for a
And
couple
we
seconds.
literally, me and Aradu, and I don't understand how Hector didn't hear this. Dead ass, the screen goes black, and we hear a girl. It was like what, somewhere in the front,
it was
right?
like the row in front of us.
in the row in front of us, literally bawled out
Like,
loud as hell.
you can hear her weeping.
You heard her weep loud as fuck.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, like, I get it. Because when I saw the movie the first time, there were people sniffling
Yeah.
and like crying. the first time I saw
it was a super emotional
and
scene.
I got choked up when I first saw it. You know what I mean? But this girl straight up like weeped loud as fuck. And me and Radu heard her.
Yeah.
And then when the movie was over, I was like, damn, bro, that ending was sad as hell. You got people weeping and shit.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, for real?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, Hector,
Loud
you didn't
as hell.
hear that girl, bro? She wept loud as fuck. And he says he didn't hear her.
No,
Yeah.
bro.
Because it was dead quiet. All you heard was her. I was
Yeah.
like, and it's
No,
funny.
bro. I didn't
I
hear it.
died laughing, dude, because he was like, I don't know, man. I guess I was just concentrated in the movie. It was a black screen.
Oh yeah, I was
The
also
screen
gonna
was
say
black.
I didn't hear, bro.
That's
as
wild.
a side note, I would not go see this movie if you're epileptic.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. There was a few times where my eyes were hurting. I was like, yo, chill.
Like especially towards the ending where like they're like flashing all those things at you, like with her like in so many different
and
universes.
the husbands,
Yeah.
the different versions of the husbands,
yeah.
like a bunch of flashing. I'm like, holy shit, bro! People are gonna have a seizure watching this.
For real.
But yeah, I didn't hear that girl crying, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. I
That's
honestly,
wild, bro.
I don't know. I guess
Literally
I wasn't
the only thing
I
you
wasn't paying-
heard,
I wasn't
bro.
paying attention, bro.
That's crazy.
But yeah, this movie is definitely sad. It didn't really choke me up like these guys. Ryder says I'm a psychopath. I guess. No, but it's definitely like I definitely feel those emotions. It's pretty fucking cool. I think that's pretty much. I think that's it. That covers it. We talked about the most important things.
yeah.
This movie was fucking cool, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I really like this movie. Starting with you.
Compared to the Northman.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. I personally. Oh yeah, personally. So you know what? Let me speak on the Northman a little bit real quick. I definitely enjoyed it more than the Northman. The Northman was a good movie. It's just I expected more from it. But you know, I would see other people saying like, if you knew who the director was and you've seen his previous films, you'd appreciate this movie more. And honestly, that's true because I had no idea who was directing that movie. I'd never seen any of his other movies, so I guess I went with high expectations, or not high expectations, but I wasn't familiar with his work, you know. And I feel like if I was familiar with his work and knew who he was, I probably would have liked it a lot more, just because I know his style. But because I didn't, I think that's why I was like harsh on it, because I was expecting this crazy epic battles. It looked fucking raw. The whole story, like, it was so good. If you guys haven't seen that episode where Mario and I review the Northman, go check it out. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say about the Northman. But yeah, continuing on, let's start with you, Radu. What's your fucking your rating, bro?
My rating?
Out of 10.
I would give it a 10, honestly.
Dang, that's coming from a rock. Hey.
I love the movie. Like it's it's literally something you've never seen before.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like even though there's so many messages and they're just so deep within so many different parts of the movie. The movie is like, it's so messy yet organized in a way. Because like just so many things are happening, but it's a lot of like catch it quick, and I think that's really cool about it. So that's why like I really liked it. It's like it's the best movie I've seen in a really long time. At least like
better than 21.
Yeah, of course it's better.
That's crazy. Better than Blood and Bone.
Yeah, bro.
Get your ass so high.
What you mean, bitch?
You ain't relevant, bitch.
Blood and Bone was a straight to DVD movie.
Well, you.
They didn't even show in theaters.
No, yeah.
Like imagine not watching Blood and Bone in Dolby Cinema.
Well, you was straight. Well, you was straight bitch. So, anyways,
all right. No, I really like this movie, and I definitely recommend anybody go watch it.
What would you rate it?
Except if you have seizures.
Oh yeah, then you'd be like, it's a 0.
Yeah, maybe you should watch this.
What would you rate it, Hector?
Probably like a 4. Nah,
you're dumb bitch.
No, this movie was cool, man. It's definitely from I guess a studio that I told you from that movie. I didn't know who the fuck it was.
A24.
A24.
Yeah, A24 are known for putting out banger movies, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, like that. Like the 2 new movies that's coming out called Men, which I want to see by them. Which that shit looks pretty cool. That one
with the shell.
Dude. That shit looked pretty cool too. I was like, oh, I could watch that. I forgot what the movie was called.
It was the movie. Oh, I don't remember what it's called.
What would you say?
Oh no, I thought you were talking about what it was about. Never mind.
Oh no. So yeah, like this looks like a promising like studio or some shit, man.
Promising.
I mean, you know. Oh, they already did.
They've been a thing since like 2012.
Oh, what movies did they do?
A bunch, bro. I'd have to pull up a list. I can't remember, but they've made a bunch, and I think we've even seen a few.
Oh really?
Before. Oh yeah.
Okay, I gotta do my research.
I'll look up a list later.
Yeah, I'm not too when I watch films, guys. I don't really pay attention to like the studios or whatever the fuck they make them.
Right.
So obviously I didn't know.
The only studios I know is Marvel Studios.
For real. And DC Studios. Coming soon.
No,
for real. Soon. What if they did that? What if they changed? What if they rebrand with the whole merge
as DC Studios?
As DC Studios.
That'd
be raw, right?
But
anyways, but yeah, this movie, man. Just like Radu said it, man, it's very unique. I've never seen anything like it before. I really enjoyed it. I feel like I need to watch it a couple more times, and just because there's so much going on, and I feel like my brain couldn't wrap around it the first time. But from what I seen, man, and I enjoyed it. You know, all these emotional roller coasters, the cinematography, I really enjoyed the comedy. I liked how it was fun. I like. You know, very fun, going to serious, makes you want to hate yourself as a real life person, and then makes you love, makes you all this type of shit, right?
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it, man. I think I'm agree with Radu, man. I think it's a 10, man. I think it's a 10. It's a really, really good movie.
Yeah.
What about you, Huv?
I'd give it a 10.
Ooh,
yeah, man.
All right.
I'd give it a 10, bro.
We haven't given a 10 since the Batman.
Yes, but this is also the first time that everyone participating in the episode agreed on the same rating.
Oh, was it?
Being a 10. Because we've reviewed episodes of Moon Knight that have all been 8s.
Yeah.
But this is like, I think this is the first
film.
This is the first time.
Oh, the Batman, no? Didn't we all do 10s on the Batman?
I don't think Danny rated it that
high.
no,
Danny did it like a, what, 8 or 9?
Or Mario. I don't remember. I can't remember, but I know for a fact we did.
No, yeah.
We did, but not. I don't think. I think they rated it like a 9 or something.
Okay.
I don't know. I could be wrong. I have to go back and listen to our rating.
Right.
But I think this is the first episode.
Yeah.
That not only. This is not the first episode that all 3 of us gave it the same rating, because you, me, and Mario have given Moon Knight 8s. Like, you know what I mean? But this is definitely the first time we've all agreed rating it as a 10, the highest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, it deserves it, bro. It's a really good movie.
Now, if you ask me if this was better than Batman, I'd be torn as fuck. because they're both good and they both are good in their own unique ways. You know? What I mean?
Yeah. I don't think you can compare them, bro. I don't think you can.
You know what would be cool is if we keep watching movies and reviewing movies for the rest of the year, and then by the end,
we'll do
a
our top 10 list of our favorite movies.
By the end of the year, like before New Year's hits and stuff. That'd be cool. I'd like to do that.
Yeah, we could do that. Fuck it.
But yeah, man. So 10 out of 10s, bro, from all three of us. Everything, everywhere, all at once, man.
Yeah. So
it was definitely a movie I wasn't expecting. I didn't even know about this. I forgot to mention. I didn't even know about this movie. Literally, like, I was like, damn, like, what new movies are coming out this weekend? And the big movie, the reason why this movie, not a lot of people heard of it, is because it came out the same weekend as Fantastic Beasts. That Harry Potter spin-off movie, which is the third movie in the Fantastic Beasts installment. But I saw reviews and they were being like, oh, the movie was just okay. And personally, I'm not as attached to Fantastic Beasts as I am Harry Potter. Like the Harry Potter movies.
Course,
so I was just like, damn, like, I guess that's the only movie. And then little old other movie over here, like, hey, this movie's coming out too, and I had never seen a trailer for it or nothing. It's like, oh, this movie's getting way better ratings, and people are loving it, fans and critics alike. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I have never seen a trailer, so I didn't even know what the movie was about. All I have heard that the movie was about the multiverse.
Yeah, and
that immediately caught my attention. I was like, okay, a multiverse movie, bet. And it's got good reviews. And I saw it blind, no trailers, nothing. And I walked out like a Radu. Like, I was just like, that shit was fucking cool, and I didn't even know what I was expecting. So yeah, man, when this first movie came out, like, I didn't even heard about it until like last minute. And me and Fabian and Manny, we all went. We were like last second, we're like, fuck it, y'all. Gurney's down the street. Like, y'all trying to go see it? And we saw it. We were like, bro, holy shit, this fucking movie.
They enjoyed it too.
Oh yeah, they loved it just as much as us. Definitely.
That's what's up.
But yeah, man. So 10 out of 10s.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So yeah, you guys. With that being said, thank y'all so much for listening. And remember, don't let your past haunt y'all. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
See you.